when I first started doing comedy, I wanted to do comedy anywhere. And there's a stage, I'll go. So I got a call to do a show at in this biker bar. And it was like on this little chicklet of a stage, and the spotlight was like an incandescent bulb, you know, and it had like a microphone, it was like the little cord, you know. I was like, and this guy in the audience wanted to heckle me. So he said a little heckle, and I topped him. And his friend's like, oh, he got you. So he figured he could do another one, and I topped him again. You know, like, ah. So he pretty much had nothing left, and so he dropped the N-word. You know, that was his trump card or whatever. But it was so funny because my parents, you know, basically raised me that I am not that. So that didn't affect me at all, you know, because he thought I was going to get a reaction out of me. But it was more like, oh, you panicked, and so that's all you had left. And so I made a joke about that, you know, and I gave him nothing. So I said, what else you got? What else you got that's going to scare me? And he pulled up his shirt, and he had a revolver, and he tapped his revolver like that. Oh. And then I said, okay, yep, that'll do it.
Where did you say this was?
In Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in Glastonbury, Connecticut. I never forget the city either. So yeah, there you go.
Yikes.
I have tons of disaster stories.
A warning to all comics.
Yes.
Heading in that direction.
Yes, don't go to Glastonbury to a biker bar. I started a company. It's a lifestyles brand called You Never Know. And I have wristbands, if you can see this.
Very nice.
Before I got into stand-up comedy, I designed buildings. I was in architecture. And my mom said to me, if you could be anything you want to be in the world, what would it be? And I said, I'd love to be an actor. And she said to me, well, why are you studying, or why are you designing buildings if you want to be an actor? And I said, well, I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts. And I said, no one famous ever came from Springfield, Massachusetts. And she said to me, you never know unless you try. And I was like, oh my God, she's so right. So I started doing stand-up, and I figured I could, you know, parlay the stand-up into acting. Stand-up just took off, and I just loved that medium of entertaining, you know. But I kept that mantra, you never know, and it's close into one word, you never know. And I'm happy because I have no regrets in my life, because everything I've done, I want to try, and I want to share that happiness. And the key to happiness is no regrets. So I used to pass out T-shirts at the end of my comedy sets, and then it kind of grew from there. And then I started a whole product line with the logo of you never know and a door, meaning try. So then I started working with a marketing firm, and it became a website. I wrote a book, and now I have a publishing deal, a radio deal, and a TV deal now.
Wow.
But basically it's all coming from, I want the world to be happy. And the key to happiness is having no regrets in your life. Franklin Ajay, a lot of people know Franklin Ajay, and he's my favorite comedian. And I wanted to be like him. I wanted my style like his. It was just so smooth, you know. And last year he came to New York, and I opened for him. And one of the greatest compliments from a comedian to another comedian is that they can repeat a joke or a punchline. So he repeated a punchline, you know, and I was like, oh my God, you know, my favorite comedian listened to my act, listened to my set. So that's very, very cool. You know, it was a great idea, actually. I was approached by the owner of Protexting. So we had a meeting, and I said, you know what, let's do something, you know, a little different. Let's try to merge the two, comedy and texting. So we went back and forth, and we realized, you know, why not do a comedy show where I'll do the setups of a joke, and then I would text the punchlines to the audience. So it gets that anticipation, and then you hear like this silence, and all of a sudden people turn their phones over, and they start busting out laughing because they're reading the punchline. What's the difference between a goldfish and a mountain goat? Okay, now turn over your phones. All right. I was really into men's clothing, and then it got to a point where I started studying the history of men's clothing, why men wear what they wear, you know, like ties and.
Did you see Looper? The movie
Which
that
one?
just came out, Looper?
Yeah.
Where they like go onto the ties. Like,
Oh,
why are you wearing ties?
fashion.
Because it's on TV, which is copying other TV. Like, why are you wearing ties?
Why you wear that choker? I mean,
Yeah.
It's fashion. But yeah, ties. That's another thing. They really don't know how ties started. And
that's suspicious.
and I thought they were napkins. I thought they started as like bibs or whatever, and they got smaller. But no, ties were just kind of just to break up, you know, the the shirt, you know. And for the longest time, three-piece suits were the clothing, and your shirt was considered underwear. You know, and that's what I remember when the shirts collars would pop out back in the day. But that was you would buy those collars, you know, and they had a crisp collar, and you would put a tie on, whatever. And yeah, so if you showed your shirt, it means you're not you're not dressed.
Your shirt showing.
Right.